I thought I knew what love was. After 20 years of marriage to David, I believed that peace and companionship were enough. But slowly, quietly, I started to feel hollow, like I was fading in a house full of silence. Every dinner was a routine, every word rehearsed. I wasn't seen, not as a wife, not even as a mother, but especially not as a woman with dreams, emotions, and desires. Then Adrian appeared. He came into my life like warm air after a long, bitter winter. His smile, his laughter, it felt like sunlight in a dark room. He noticed the small things. How I hesitated before speaking, how I fiddled with my ring when I was anxious. I hadn't felt that kind of attention in years. First I felt guilty just talking to him. But Adrian listened in a way David hadn't in years. With every conversation I felt alive again. I told myself I deserved to be happy. I convinced myself I wasn't cheating on David. I was saving myself. Leaving David broke something inside me. He didn't fight. He didn't yell. He just looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "I hope he gives you what I couldn't." That sentence still echoes in my mind. But my daughters, Emily and Rachel, hugged me tightly and told me they just wanted me to be happy. Their support gave me the courage I needed, or so I thought. Adrian welcomed me with open arms. His home became mine. His laughter became my melody. He made me feel 20 again. We traveled, danced in the kitchen, kissed under the stars. I truly believed I had found my soulmate, the one I had been waiting for all my life. He made promises at night. Of marriage, forever, growing old together. I allowed myself to believe every word. I gave him everything. My trust, my heart, even a large part of the money I received from my divorce. He said it was for our future. I never questioned him. Love doesn't doubt, right? But love should see red flags. I ignored them all. The secret calls, the sudden disappearances, the vague answers. I silenced every instinct that told me something was wrong. Because the thought of losing him scared me more than the truth. One night when he didn't come home, something inside me snapped. I waited for hours, staring at the clock, praying I was wrong. When he finally returned, he smelled of perfume, and it wasn't mine. I pretended to be asleep. But my heart was wide awake. The next morning, while he was in the shower, I picked up his phone. My hands shook as I scrolled through the messages. Dozens of them. Sweet nothings to other women. Promises he once whispered to me, now given to strangers. I couldn't breathe. When I confronted him, my voice trembled. But he didn't deny anything. He looked at me coldly and said, "You were convenient. That's all." My world shattered in one breath. I collapsed to the floor, crying like a child. But he walked away like I had never mattered. I left that day with nothing but my clothes and a broken soul. I stayed with a friend, too ashamed to face my daughters. How could I explain that the man I left their father for had used me? How could I admit I had been a fool? When I finally told Emily and Rachel the truth, they were silent. Not angry. Not judgmental, just hurt. And that was worse. I had always been their pillar, their safe space. Now I was just human. Flawed. Weak. Weeks passed in a fog of tears and regret. I replayed every moment with Adrian, trying to figure out where I went wrong. But the truth was simple, I wasn't wrong. I just wanted to be loved so badly. I accepted lies disguised as love. I saw David again by accident at the grocery store. He smiled politely. There was no anger in his eyes, just a quiet sadness. Talk. I wanted to say I was sorry, to ask for forgiveness, but no words came out. Only tears. I started therapy. Had to. The pain was too heavy to carry alone. I learned that I had been empty long before Adrian came along. That I was looking for someone to fix me, when what I needed was to heal myself. I got a small job, rented a modest apartment, and started rebuilding brick by brick. Every morning, I reminded myself that I was worthy of love, but not at the cost of my self-respect. My daughters slowly came back into my life, not with judgment, but with quiet love. One day, Rachel hugged me and whispered, "I'm proud of you for coming back." That broke me in a different way. It wasn't just pain anymore, it was healing. Slow, delicate, but real. David and I talk sometimes now. Not as lovers, not even as friends. Just two people who once shared a life. And that's okay. Some stories don't need to go back to the beginning. Some just need to end in peace. I don't know if I'll ever fall in love again. But I do know this. Next time I won't leave myself behind. 'Cause I am enough. Even if no one else says it, I will say it to myself. I'm enough.